don't do nothing but run his mouth. That's all he do. They transferred, you got to look how slick this cracker is. All the activity, Islamic activity in Oakland, now is focused in North Oakland. With Saudi funds, they have, I don't know how many halal stores, bookstores, they have everything in North Oakland that we had in East Oakland. Why would they do that? Because the Arabs, the Yemenis, and all the other Libyans and all those people, they want to be here in America. They're not going to, half of the guys sell wine, pork, and beer in their stores. You don't have to worry about them. It is who would the system want to transfer Islam to? Me and you, who have an idea, who wants to develop community, or those guys? And everybody know them because the little black girls want a little credit, and these Arabs go out running around with them, you know, stuff. That's a serious Islam. That Islam don't grab hold to people. It don't motivate people. You see what I mean? Money don't circulate in that community. The money goes back to these Arabs, and they take it out and send it home or do whatever else they do, or buy more property. What I'm trying to tell you is, this struggle is not new. It's been going on, and there is a exact and specific design. That's why we have to have an exact and specific counter-design, counter-offensive, designed fitna, design specifics. We have to observe, right? We have to chronicleize, right? We have to archive, we have to do all of that so we know what it looks like. We know what it looks like. That's the diagnosis, that's all. Then we have to institute. There's been a period, like I say, you have to design your own counteroffensive. That's all. Anything else will not work. We said a minute ago about returning to the Masjid. The joy of the early years in Islam, you could just be in the Masjid and it felt good. You felt good. Why are we returning to the Masjid? Offer us everything. It's because it's time to. It's time to. That's the period of your joy comes from sitting in the Masjid waiting for the next prayer. Right? That's what the joy. The Prophet ﷺ said, hey, look at these guys just hanging out, did Maghrib prayer, they're waiting here at the Masjid for Isha to come. He said the angels is writing all y'all's names down. Stuff like that. So if you sit in the Masjid and wait for sun to rise and do chast prayer, you get blessings after blessings. All of that stuff. Okay. Did we forget about the Masjid? Absolutely not. It was part of a plan. So return to the protection and joy and tranquility of the Masjid. Remember the early years of Islam and the joy of the Masjid. Don't let people steal your joy. You can pretend to let them steal it, but you can't let people steal your joy of the Masjid, the beauty of the Masjid. This is where the revival starts. Let it reflect in your language. The revival, Islamic revival we've been talking about, it starts in the Masjid. The Islamic revival that we've been talking about takes more than me and you. That's why we use the term us and we now instead of I. dirty trick was them to try to work on me. And I think about me. And I think about me. I gotta fight him, I gotta do this. No. This is not about me. This is about the movement. It's about history, right? It's about us. Us includes, I want you to think about the time we're living in. No matter how it got here, just think about it. The African American community is dying for what? An Islamic revival. They don't even know what they want. They're dying for it. We've been, all our literature, everything has been working to set up Islamic revival. That's what the re-Africanization of the Islamic movement in North America, all of it comes from the framework of As-Sabiqun. Everything we have been doing is the exact same thing that we've been heading for all along. Nowhere new. They just didn't pick it up. And if they did, they start cooperating to help us. Everything they do is a help. It's not, this is the thing about Islam. You never complain. If Allah take a child, or if Allah, one lady, her son, Abu Salam, something like that. Allah called back their son, and the wife told everybody, don't tell him about it. She got all fixed up, and made up, you know what I mean? And they had whatever you do in the night. Then in the morning, she asked him a question. She says, if somebody loaned you something, and then they came and asked for it back, could you protest? He said, absolutely not. He said, well, thank Allah that Allah has called your child back, right? And he couldn't complain. He thanked Allah. When you get what you call adversity, and you change those adversities into positive, you thank Allah. When anything happens to you, you thanking God. Hey man, oh Allah, I thank you for this. Because remember, hadith, everything says Allah will not, if Allah loves the people, He gives them challenges and obstacles to overcome, to make them bigger, taller, wider, or, psychologically and emotionally. So, not only here, when we return to Oakland, we'll automatically return to the Masjid. We don't care if the police is outside. Because it's worse than we have a right to the place. It belongs to us. Can you imagine? It belongs to us. It don't belong, and the court, why they were stupid enough to go to court, if you read all the stuff, it'll say, the victim, Mukhtar and Khadijah, the victims said that they were harassed. Now everything, I got stacks, it's about 10 stacks of stuff where they made out paperwork. And everything that they did to us, that's what they wrote down on the paper that we did to them. We got a gang of thugs and they do this and they do that to us, and I'm in fear of a... Look, so we always feel comfortable in the masjid, and that's where we're going to be. It don't make no difference whether they like it or not. Even the court just told them, well, you don't have no board of directors, you ain't had nothing. Actually, they didn't go and call them big liars, but that's what the jury said. Can you imagine a jury out 30 minutes, something like that? They didn't even eat, they have cakes and pies and stuff for the jury. They ain't had time to eat it. All they did was walk there and said, not guilty. I went down to the street and the lawyer called me and said the jury came back and found you not guilty. said, dog, they didn't waste no time, did they? In other words, now, the revival starts from the masjid. Try to visualize where we are as a community and where we have been. The African American community has shrank. The African American community is not respected like it used to be. If you move, yeah, man, this is still people, but the Muslims are not taking their rightful position. They've sold their birthright. Who feels it? Everybody. So now, here we come with the solution. We're not saying, we never fell for the dumb tricks of the system. We never fell for the dumb tricks of putting us on the road and running all around the country. We call it the Negro Benefit, Imam Benefits Association. The Imams might have benefited, but they didn't. Remember Kitty Clough, those Kitty Clough, and when they talk about Malcolm for one day, they would be doing that because we just said something about Malcolm. We got an Afrocentric, kind of like lightweight, you know. They're exactly listening to us to counter it. Now, don't talk about the people that we have to work with, our dear beloved brothers and sisters, of course. They might have played the biggest part in cutting us back, cutting us down, but they wasn't cutting us back, they wasn't cutting us down. They were pushing us into place. Remember, a setback ain't nothing but a setup for a comeback. We always saw it as them positioning us to do just what we're doing now. Can you imagine with our upcoming flyers when we ask, we're going to stay on this, oh, care, what is wrong with us? It's because we're black. Oh, why do you won't even answer the phone? I mean, what, right? The immigrant community, we have exactly every card that we need to play on our own behalf and against them. Every card is perfect. We in the big time. So even all of the people, like Jahari Abdul Malik, those people, when we was over at Howard all the time, giving lectures and inviting people to Islam, they brought him over there as a chaplain, and he cut out all the programs. Just cut them out. Then the foreigners hired him because they know he was a good nigga. But we're going to work with him. We're going to work with him. La tatraba, no reproach. Remember, I'm telling you, it might have sounded like we was angry, but we're happy that they did what they did. Because everything that put us where we are should make us happy. La tatraba. It means about Yusuf alayhi salam, that his brothers throwed him down the well, and they saw the caravan taking them off in slavery. They knew where he was headed. What's worse than that? Then the ladies let him suffer in the penitentiary for a number of years. All of that is real. All of that is very real, but what does it mean for us? La tatraba means no reproach. We got too many fish to fry, too much going on right now. And don't you even reproach your own self. Don't sit there, man, we did, Joseph wrong. Don't do that. That's what Joseph said. When the Prophet ﷺ took Mecca, they asked him, went one way or the other. What do y'all expect of me? Well, we expect you an honorable man from an honorable family. So you know what we expect. He said, I say to you the same thing that Yusuf said to his brothers. La tatraba, no reproach. Okay, so here we are. Try to imagine the situation as it is. The African American community is despondent at what's happened. It's in decline. Our children are staying in Islam in smaller numbers, even than immigrant children. All of the signs for us are pointing down. Here we come at this time and say, let's get it back together. That's what the Islamic revival is. And it's not possible to do it yourself. Hopefully, they've learned a lesson. They might try the same old dumb scheme again. They might grin, yeah, and they might cut your throat. That's their business. Our job is to work hard for this Islamic revival. I mean, that's what's going on right now. That's the purpose that we're doing what we're doing for Islamic revival. And all the people all the groups, the groups that they started in Manna, it was all clearly against Joseph, we'll say. Right, it was against Yusuf. So, when we get to Oakland, they'll know we got there. The government knows everything about us, but we know everything about them too, or everything we need to know.